अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः अस्मत्सर्वगुरुभ्यो नमः अस्मत्परमगुरुभ्यो नमः श्रीमते श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिंह परब्रह्मणे नमः श्रीमते श्रीवंशरगो वष्टि वेदांत देशीरेन्द्र महादेशिकाय नमः श्रीमते श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिंह दिव्य पादुका सेवक श्रीवंशरगो श्री नारायण यतीन्द्र महादेशिकाय नमः श्रीमते श्रीवंशरगो श्री रंगनाथ यतीन्द्र महादेशिकाय नमः श्रीमान वेंकटनाथार्य कवितार्किककेसरी वेदांताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्तां सदा हृदि ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां हयग्रीवमुपास्महे वन्दे बृन्दावनचरं वल्लवीजनवल्लभम् जयन्ती संभवं धाम वै जयन्ती विभूषणम् जन्माद्यस्य यथोन्वयादितरदस्साद्देष्वभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदायादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा दाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तगुहं सत्यं परं धीमहि धर्मप्रोजितकदैवोऽत्र परमो निर्मत्सराणां सदां वेद्यं वास्तवमत्र अस्तु शिवदं तावत्त्रयोन्मूलनम् श्रीमद्भागवते महामुनिकृते किं वा परैरीश्वरः सत्यो हृत्यवरुत्यतेऽत्र कृतिभिः शुश्रूषुभिस्तत्तक्षणात् निगमकल्पधरोर्कलितं फलम् शुकमुखात् अमृतद्रवसंयुधम् पिबद भागवतं रसमालयम् मुहुरहो रसिका भुवि भावुकाः यं प्रौरजन्नमनुभेदमभेदकृत्यं द्वैवायनो विरहगादर आजुहाव पुत्रेदि तन्मयदया तरवो विनेदुस्तं सर्वभूतहृदयं मुनिमानदोऽस्मि नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः नमः पङ्कजनाभाय नमः पङ्कजमालिने नमः पङ्कजनेत्राय नमस्ते पङ्कजाङ्ग्रये வேதத்தை வேதத்தின் சுவைப்பயனை விழிமிய முனிவர்கள் விழும்பும் கோதலின் கனியை நந்தனார் களிற்றை குவலயத்தோர் தொழுதேத்தும் ஆதியை அமுதை என்னை ஆளுடை அப்பனை ஒப்பவரெல்லாம் மாதர்கள் வாழும் மாடமாமயிலை திருவல்லிக்கேணி கண்டேனே வசுதேவ சுதம் தேவம் கம்சசாணூரமர்தனம் தேவகி பரமானந்தம் कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् शान्त्रानन्दावबोधात्मकम् अनुभमिदम् कालदेशावधिभ्याम् निर्मुक्तम् नित्यमुक्तम् निगमसदसहस्रेण निर्भास्यमानम् अस्पष्टम् दृष्टमात्रे पुनरुपुरुषार्थात्मकम् ब्रह्मतत्त्वम् तत्तावद्भारि साक्षात् गुरुपवनपुरे अन्धवाक्यं जनानाम्. We are looking at the Uddhava Gita. There was some gap of several weeks what we left off in the last class. Meanwhile, we are looking at the Tirupallandu and Varagavadaram and all other kinds of things and Dolai and everything here. So we are continuing where we left off. The purpose of the Uddhava Gita, I just want to refresh. Bhagavad Gita is on one day and Uddhava Gita is here. There he told for Arjuna, here he told for Uddhava. There we are talking about how to do the Sharanagati based on the 18-66 Charma Slogam Sarvadharman Parityachya Maam Egam Sharanam Braja Agam Tva Sarva Pabebhyo Mokshayishyami Ma Suchaha. That is what the main theme over there. When you come over here, Tum Sarvam Parityacha Snegam Sochana Bandushu Maya Veshya Manasamyaki Samadrak Vicharaswaga. So one to one parallel these two. How do you do Sharanagati? How do you behave after you do Sharanagati? This is pre-Sharanagati, that is post-Sharanagati. So we have to remember, whenever in this thing we say, in Uddhava Gita, Muni, Jnani, and some of the Dharmatma, when we say all of them, that means it is Prabhannan. We are talking about Prabhannan. How do we become a better person? Character building. That is what we are looking at that. In that one, this is the 38th lecture. Until then, what we saw, at some point, Krishna was telling our clan, our dynasty, the early Maharaja is Yadu Maharaja. And one day he saw this Avaduta. Avaduta does not have anything. All he was wearing a loin cloth, that's all. No wealth, no relatives, nothing. With all those things, he was very happy. And Yadu Maharaja could not believe that one. I have the palace, I have all the wealth, I have so many people to serve me, but I am not peaceful. So he has got some secret which I don't have. So I want to get instruction from him. So he went and asked Avaduta. And Avaduta told there are 24 gurus that they taught. The 24 gurus did not come there and teach that like a guru sishya bhavam kind of a thing. It are implicit way. By looking at them, he learned. Some of them looking at them, maybe I should do. Some of them looking at that, then he says, maybe I should refrain from that. So it's an implicit way of learning. That is what we saw. In that one, the first guru he was mentioning was the Mother Earth. Because patience. Mother Earth always says patience. And very particularly, this Yadu Maharaja and Avaduta Samvadam, they said Mother Earth patience. Otherwise, nobody will listen to the other 23. So you need to have patience first. That is why they say patience and also forgiveness, forbearance. So what they say, forgive and forget. That is what we learn from the Mother Earth. And the other one also, give more than what you receive. That is very interesting when you look at the Mother. And that is what we have to do from the first Guru we learned. The second Guru is the Vayu. Vayu is the wind or air, anything you can call. There are two types of them. One which is inside, that one we call as a prana. Prana Vayu. Without that one, that oxygen inside, we cannot be alive. And in the grossly outside, whatever you see, that we call as a air. Through this one, we control our intake. The first food what all we take is oxygen. Then only all water, and then all other solid foods and liquid foods and everything comes. So the first intake is oxygen. You can be without water, without solid food for a longer time. Without oxygen, not even 2 minutes, 3 minutes. So life would be gone. So that is why oxygen is more important. So but when you look at this air in the gross form and also the one inside pranavayu, then we talked about parisation where they say pranaya swaha, banaya swaha, dhyanaya swaha, udhanaya swaha, samanaya swaha. Each one does in a different way. That is all the things we saw. And the outside air, it's so beautiful. It goes, it mixes with everything, but when it goes out, it leaves out. It goes through the rose garden, it carries the smell. After a few yards, after a few minutes, it leaves off. It goes to the garbage heap, it carries that smell. That's also it leaves. It's a very good lesson. You have to be with everyone, but at the same time, just nothing sticks to you. That is the way we have to do. Most of the time, we get pestered by some incident or something we always remember. That is why all these first 5 are basically, we are talking about Panchabhudam. Very amazing lessons we learn from them. That is the major portion of them we learn. So, we are like a postman. Our job is to deliver the letter. Who wrote it? We don't care. Who reads that? We don't care. So the air is like that. Who creates that one? it doesn't care. And who smells that one, it doesn't care. It just carries and goes. That is the way. We are basically a messenger, a carrier. That is what we have to understand from here. The third guru is the akAsA. That is what we left off at that point. We saw that slokam. We started with the one sloka. What Avadhuta is telling about the akAsA. Andarhidascha sthira jangameshu brahmatma bhavena samanvayena vyaptya avyavachedam asangamatmano munir nabastvam vidadasya bhavayet. For akAsA, he calls about 5 different properties. Andarhida, Brahma, Vyaptya, Avyavachedam, Ashankam, 5 qualities. Andarhida means present inside. Andarhida. Brahma means huge. Brihat, the word it coming root word is Brihat. Brihat means large, humongous. Vyapti means pervading. It is everywhere spread out. Avyavachedam, indivisible. Ashangam, not union. So these are the 5 qualities. Let us look first how the akAsA has got all these 5 qualities and how we take that one applies to the Jivatma and Paramatma. Andarhida, which means present in all. Sky is present everywhere. Sky means space. Space is present everywhere. Even if you have a gadam, even if you have a vessel, you think the vessel has got closed and it's got a mouth. Inside gadakasham, that's what they call, there is a space there. So any place there is a gap, there is always a space or sky or akAsA is there. That means andarhida, it is in everywhere. So there is no place without akAsA. Whenever you look at that one, there is no place without akAsA. It's present everywhere in the universe. Secondly, Brahma. Can we measure how big is this akAsA? There is no way. It is so huge and humongous. When we say universe, it is expanding. And we don't know how many, the furthest star, how many billions of light years away from us. So if that is the distance, the whole space is there. If you look at the whole space, the number of planets may be 0.000001%, not even that. The rest of them are empty. The whole space is empty. That is what the akAsA we are talking. So that is why it is so huge. Nobody can size the akAsA. The third one, Vyaptya. So it is not only into the solar system or into the Milky Way or anything. It is spread out everywhere. That is why it's called Vyapti. Avyavachedam. Oh, I want to divide the space here. This belongs to us. That is belong to you. That belongs to the Milky Way. There is no way you can divide. You can divide the land. You can put there the markers and we can divide the land. You can put a fence. You cannot put a fence in a akAsam. What can you do? But we do certain kinds of things because each country has got some airspace. So they measure certain things and they call within their airspace. There's nothing physical boundary. Okay. So you cannot divide it, but you, virtually you think this belongs to this country, belongs to that country. That's a virtual. You cannot divide that one. Ashankam. It is not connected to anything. Amazing. It's so huge. It is spread out everywhere, but it doesn't connect with anything, sky. Nothing sticks to that. It stands alone. So these are the 5 properties of the akAsA. That is what the Avadhuta was telling. That 5 properties applies to both Jivatma and Paramatma. So whenever you say, if you apply this one, not necessarily it's a symmetry. You cannot take exactly put it on that. We have to take certain properties and understand that. Nothing in the world is an exact example. I told you in the last class, we tell our kid, why don't you be like her? When you say like that, that means she gets good grades or she is a very good girl. That doesn't mean he has to wear a skirt like her. Okay, so what we are making here, some comparisons, the properties. So it is not a symmetrical one. So when you apply for Jivatma and Paramatma, let's take the Paramatma. Andar Hidaya, he is present everywhere. Brahma, the basic word for the Paramatma is Brahmam, is the largest one. Vyaptya, one of the greatest thing for him is he is present everywhere. You cannot say, there are some places they say, one of the Thiruvaimuri, it says, when in Moksham, for Perumal they give the Abhishekam, Thirumanchanam. After the Thirumanchanam, they show the Sambrani, the Dubam. When they put the Dubam, and the whole thing is a smoke. And Perumal you don't see, by the time they remove that one, it may take probably about 5 seconds, 10 seconds or 30 seconds. Within that one, Bhagavan comes down and does Krishna Avadaram and goes back. That is what Suttu Nanmalaigal Tu Ena Vendi, that Pashuram, it says, Nammalvar says, not in Thiruvaimuri, Nammalvar is one of the other composition. So that is what it says. But that doesn't mean when Bhagavan left Sri Vaikuntham, he came as a Krishna, as a Rama, or a Varaha, or a Narasimha, that seat is empty. It is not. Only when you are in one place, when you are not in another place, then only we talk he is here, he is not there. But when he is present everywhere, okay, when he is present everywhere, like akAsA, and air is also, not in all the places, there are some places vacuum. So akAsA is present everywhere. Similarly, Bhagavan, Paramatma is present everywhere. One of the greatest identity for Bhagavan is Vyapti. Vyabhaga Mantram, we say, Ashtaksharam, all those things we say, Vyabhaga Mantram, that tells about Bhagavan's pervading capabilities. He is everywhere. He is not in one place or the other place. Simultaneously he is there. That is the one of the thing is God. And Vyapti, in addition, we have to add an adjective, Swabhavika. Is by nature. Bhagavan can give you also Vyapti. Okay, you can have the Vyapti. You will be present everywhere. But it is only given by him. It is blessed by him. Not natural quality for you. So the only person who has got naturally Swabhavika Vyapti is Bhagavan is the only one. So that is what we are talking here. Compared to the sky, compared to the space, Bhagavan is also like that. And then Avyavachedam. I want to divide. Bhagavan, I want to divide. This part is your head, this part is your leg. It's not. Thumalar Thuvi Toludu, and that says. You don't have to go and take the flower and put it in one place. Oh, I want to put it on the head. Bhagavan is everywhere. Where is head, where is leg, where is your stomach, where is your hands? All of them. That is why Andal says in Tirupavai, Thumalar Thuvi. That is why we do the Archana like that. You think all of them are going to his head or Kiridam or to his foot? No. Wherever it goes, Bhagavan is present everywhere. Remember, I given a last time or something, there is one story. There was one Bhakta, he was so much about Anjaneya Bhakta. And there is a politician in that town. That politician does not like this guy. So he was just waiting for an opportunity to punish him. One day this Bhakta did something, so the politician got him. And he says, you did this wrong, so I have to punish you in front of everybody. So, okay. So what's the punishment now? Here are the stones. Take all the stones and you have to throw it to the Anjaneya. The Anjaneya Vigraham there, you have to throw it. So he took all the stones and he was throwing all of them, everything was going on the sides. And after this punishment was over, he went back home, he slept. Then Bhagavan came and he said, why you keep on hitting me? Then this guy says, no, I didn't. I am going to give you a punishment. Bhagavan says, what do you mean by you are going to give a punishment? They give me a punishment. I deliberately moved away and was throwing on the outside. Then Bhagavan laughed. I know that this guy was here trying to tell. So I moved away into the outside there. And that is where you keep on hitting. Why do you think I am only in there, not in the other place? See, that is what Bhagavan says. He is present everywhere. That is one of them. He says we are always afraid of the Bhagavan for our actions because he is silently watching. There is no place he can go, no place he can hide. There is no Bhagavan. So here he says, Avyachedam is indivisible. He is present everywhere. You cannot divide one place or the other. Ashangam. Whatever it happens, see, take our body. Within our body, there is a Jivatma. Next to that Jivatma, Paramatma is also sitting. This Paramatma, whatever the bad things you are doing, no connection to him. How is that? People are asking. He is sitting inside, he is watching, he is an accomplice. So you should also take some kind of a responsibility. Does it not? Yes. Well, sometimes it doesn't stick to him. They give an example like, they give you sakara pongal, sugar pongal. So it's full of ghee and everything. You take that one and eat it. After you eat that one, your hands are all oily, ghee and everything. So you go and put soap and wash it. Go and put on your tongue. You ate with that tongue. You don't wash with the soap on your tongue. Similarly, nothing sticks to him. That is what the example they give. So, now Bhagavan is like a Teflon. All the things happen. Even in the Gadyam, that is one of the Vaikuntha Gadyam, in the starting itself, that's what he says. Even though he is present in everywhere, Asesha dosha samsprishtam klesa dosha asamprishtam. None of the klesam will stick to him. So, Ashankam, even though he is there, he is not related to anything. Not only that, our Atma is also like that. Atma cannot join with anything. All the relations are only for the body. Atma does not have any relation. The only relation it knows is, I am a slave, I am a servant, I am a session, I am a dasan to Bhagavan. That's all it knows. Nothing else it will know. So, all the things what we are talking, my wife, my wealth, my car, all belongs to the body. Nothing to do with the Atma. Atma doesn't own anything. Atma is a anadai, orphan. It doesn't have anybody. Atma does not have any parent. It does not have any kids. It does not have no siblings. Same thing, Bhagavan's Atma. So, now we take the Jivatma. These are the 5 things we told. Andarhida, Brahma, Vyaptya, Avyavachedam, Ashankam. In the Jivatma, Andarhida, it is present. So, whenever you say that one, Bhagavan is Vyapti everywhere. And your Vyapti is within your body. So, we are comparing several Jivatmas here. There's only one Paramatma, but several Jivatma. Whenever we say the Jivatma, it is contained only to that body. It is restricted to that body. So, Andarhida, your Jivatma is present inside your body. Your Jivatma is present inside your body. So, that is Andarhida. Brahma. Here, Brahma means huge. What do you mean by huge? When you say Bhagavan is Vyapti, I understand. He is present everywhere. But Jivatma is such a small one. Balagra Sadabhaga. This Veda Shloka says, you take the tail of the cow and in the vertically, not horizontally, vertically, you keep on cutting that one several times, which you cannot see, smaller than that one. Jivatma cannot be seen through the microscope. That small one. That's what you can think. If that is the case, how can you call Brahma? Well, even though it is that small, anywhere in the body it controls. The whole body is controlled by that Atma. If that one leaves, everything falls off. So, Brahma is based on the controlling capacity. That is what it is. Vyaptya. Within all your body, it is pervading. Anywhere your hand to lift, legs to lift, everything, that's an Atma needed. That has to be Atma, Buddhi, Manas, Indriya. We talk so many times about the Kadopanishad. Atmanam radinam viddhi sariram radhamevadu. So you have to understand Atma, Buddhi, Manas, Indriya. So if you keep that one in your head, that is how the connections are made. So, Vyapti means within the body it is done. Next one, Avyavachedam. You cannot divide. That is what Bhagavan Krishna told. Your Atma, it cannot be broken, it cannot be joined, it cannot be compressed, it cannot be expanded, it cannot be wet, it cannot be dried. So many things he keeps on saying, that Atma is such a one. So here, avyavachedam, you cannot divide. Ashankam. Well, even though these two are two bodies, they are one soul united together. Well, you can talk only all this for only elevating somebody on a respect basis. That's all. To Gauravam, that's all you say. No way two Atmas. There is two bodies, there's one soul. Very rarely. Saubari Maharishi was there. And that Maharishi, what happened is he took sannyasam. When he have sannyasam, he went underneath the water and he was doing tapas. When he was doing the tapas, he was opening up the eyes and saw there was a fish going, and behind the fish there are 10 small fish, its kids are going. He saw that one. What's a great one, family life. What did I take? Sannyasam. So he came back from the sannyasa. And then he says, after he comes back, once when you get, this is like one matchstick. That's all it needed to ignite. So it will become a forest of fire. Then he said, look, I have to really enjoy. Whatever the life I have to enjoy. I have to have 100 girls at the same time. So, Saubari Maharishi, even though there is one Atma, he took 1,000 sharirams. And then he asked. That is what told in the Purana story. So those are all blessed by the Bhagavan. Certain things one Atma can go into. Like Krishna can do. You see the Gopikas when they were doing all dancing Rasa Kridai. Each Gopika has got each Krishna. Or two Gopikas, one Krishna in the middle. How can it happen? Everybody says, I had Krishna in my home. How can it happen? And each Krishna is different. It's not like a TV. Everybody is watching the same Obama, raising the hand, lifting, putting it down. It's not. Each Obama is different. Think about it. Each Krishna in the home is different. So that is what they were saying. So, non-union means Ashangam. These Atmas cannot be joined. So when we say the husband and wife, two bodies, but one soul, those are all just mere words. That's all. It cannot be. Because Deshika says in Ragasetra Saram, Atmaikyam, Devadaikyam, Trisamadigadha, he says, Atma Aikyam. You cannot fuse two Atmas. You cannot split. No fusion-fission business here. You cannot do that one. So each one is independent. That's why Ashanka. That's also applies here. So the comparison for the Atma to akAsA, as I said, we cannot apply directly. We have to see what is the logic, what is the idea, what we need to learn from that one. Sky is not equal to Jivatma. Sky is not equal to Paramatma. But certain properties are similar. So we carry over there. So that's why. And the sky, when you take, it has got no boundaries. We have all the material universe. There is no boundaries. It keeps on expanding. Infinite, the sky. That is what you can say. Sometimes the clouds cover the sky, but sky remains unaffected. In the morning, you get a beautiful red light coming with the dawn. In the evening, also dusk you get. Nothing. Sky is the same. All of them in front of that one, all the changes are happening, and the sky is just watching. None of them affects that one. Whether you got a thunder, whether you got a lightning, whether you got a rain, whether you got a clouds, none of them affects. How do we know that one? So when you go on the plane, you go above the clouds. Then you see everything is down there. So that is the sky from there you are looking for. So even though the sky is everywhere, through the clouds and all the way, nothing sticks to them. So that is how we have to be. So the whole idea Uddhava was trying to say, there are so many things are happening in the world. So some of them may be infuriating to you, so angry and everything. Some of them make you so happy and all of them. Immediately what you have to remember? Nashwaram. Krishna's word, beautiful word is Nashwaram. As long as you are in the Leela Vibhuti, nothing is permanent. Nothing is permanent. They will go away. So, whenever you look at that way, this too shall pass. That's what we said. Similarly, whether it's a good or bad, it will go away. So, the emptiness what we say, nothing sticks to that. At the same time, that's empty. That is what your heart should be. Don't carry the old bags. People used to say, the guy got married. He got married 40 years back. On the wedding day, they made some sweet. Instead of 4 sweets, they made only 3 sweets. The guy remembered that one. Even after 40 years, he's fighting with his wife. Your father did that one. Instead of 4 sweets, father might not have done anything. He might have given a contract to some cook. And the cook might have slipped something. So he remembers that one. All the wedding, he has spent so many lakhs. He never remembers that. He remembers this one. He carries. Don't do that. That is what this akAsA says. It should be empty. So the next couple of things we are going to see, we are going to be like a Muni. Muni means a Jnani. Jnani is like a child. We have to be like a child. So the children does not have any preconceived ideas. When the children is born, they love everybody. Any stranger comes when it will laugh, it will smile and everything. We try to teach the child, oh no, that mama is very crook. You have to be careful. So this boy is very bad. You have to be. So we are developing all the bad habits to the child. Child is normally good. All we are telling them the bad things. Because that's what the life we think, that's correct. Okay. So the inner space, as the space is empty, inner part of your heart, that should be for the sage, Jnani and Prabandhan. That should be clean and empty. Just like as I said, the thunder, sunrise, all colors, nothing should affect you and everything. So from this, the sage is saying, I learned to be a true sage. Should remain pure in your heart. Just like the sky, untouched, unaffected by anything. Even though there are surrounding so many things are happening. It is very difficult. Think for a moment, you are sitting down on April 15th, trying to finish your IRS tax. And there are 4 kids from your neighbor comes inside. They are making so much noise with vessels and everything. You get so angry, you want to finish. You cannot concentrate. Okay? That is where we have to apply. How we can concentrate, compartmentalize. So this is one of the things what we need. At least we cannot completely forget office thing. At least on Saturday and Sunday, forget about that one. Enjoy whatever you are supposed to do. Or morning, 30 minutes you do the prayer. Forget about your cell phone or messaging. Think like that one. This is what it is. So that is what this akAsA is trying to do. Compartmentalize. We cannot make it completely empty. See, the problem with the mind is you can close your mouth. You can pull your hand. But mind you cannot stop. It's a monkey. It goes, keep on going back and forth, all of them. And that is what Krishna says, abhyasam. You have to control. So if you do for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes and everything. So you have to say, that's okay. This too shall pass. We have to keep on telling ourselves. Okay. The next sloka, he continues, whatever I told you. Tejo vannamayir bhavain meghātyair vāyuneridhaihi nasprusyastes navastatpad kala srittair gunai puman. But he says all the meghas are coming and all this prism, it is touching that one, but nothing is going to affect that one. So that is what basically the next sloka is saying. So the blowing action, whatever the wind and whatever the thunder, whatever the cloud, it all tries to do everything to this, whatever the rain. The rest of the 4 things, they are making all infuriating to the akAsA. And akAsA is such a large one. These are all such a small, tiny ones. Nothing can affect that one. So it remains to be peaceful. That's what it says. Tatvat Puman. Atma is not connected to anything. That is what you have to understand. Sky is never implicated by the blowing wind. Same way, your Atma, blowing wind, very specifically he says over here, because the wind is inside your emotions. So the moving emotions should not be affecting you. That is where you have to control. So whatever you say, it's only apparent. Like I said, if you go a little higher, you see that one, that part of the akasha, nothing. Only here there is something is happening. Even then, it is ashankam. Nothing is connected. It comes and it falls, goes away. It's just like a Teflon. At the end you take it, everything comes out. Nothing sticks to that one. Okay. So, the next guru, Avaduta is going to talk, is Jalam. Neer, Apaha, Vellam, water, whatever you want to say that one. And in the Uddhava Gita, in this sermon, what Krishna is talking in the 11th skandam, 7th chapter, Uddhava is a noble person. To him, he recounts what Yadu Maharaja and Avaduta were talking, and are the first 5 gurus are the Panchabhudam. The Panchabhudam, what we see here, is not telling in that particular order. The orders are all different here. Whatever we know of Akasha, and then Vayu, then Agni, then Apaha, then Earth, Prithvi. On that way it is not telling. In a different way it is telling. It doesn't matter. First we have to understand water is an amazing thing. Everything when you look at that one, Akasha is one amazing. Vayu is another amazing one. And now we see this water. Water is amazing. Why? Because when you see earth, more than 70% of earth is covered by water. And we are all born in water, inside the stomach of the mother. Even Bhagavan at Pralayam, Jala Prabhaham is lying down there. So the water is such a close ingredient all through our life. Even in the body, most of them is water. So water is very, very important one. Even in the outer space, they say, if there is a trace of water somewhere, there has to be some living thing. Without water, we cannot live. So, but when you look at the water, it is very clear. It is very transparent, okay? We see in the rain, streams, lakes, rivers, sea, ocean, everywhere you see, original, swabhavika nature for water is transparent. Not only that, it is tasteless. Water does not have any taste. People may say, from Coimbatore, they say, Siruvani water is so sweet. Okay. The minerals are in that one that makes it sweet. Water is never sweet. Water has no taste, no odor. Well, can't say all the waters are like that. So naturally, water has no taste, no color, no odor for that one. And also, it's an amazing one. Somewhere I read, it is the only substance which is available in the solid, liquid and vapor form on the earth. So easily it is available. So we take it for granted. In fact, many times water means it's a god. In our religion, not only our religion, any religion you take, water is equivalent to Bhagavan. That is what they do that way. Ganga, Kaveri, Yamuna, all of them, they do that. So, the pure water is tasteless, as I said. Water, when you look at that one, it is compared to the jnana. What water does, it purifies. When it purifies, it cleanses a lot of things. Similarly, the jnanam, what it is, when you take the jnanam, your ajnanam is gone. Your all impurities, your pollutants, everything will be gone. So water is like a cleansing agent. It's like a jnana that is given to you. So that is why it is compared. Like akasha was basically compared to the atma, here it is compared to the jnana. By having the water, you wash your body. Not only wash your body, but also spiritually, religiously you are washing inside. So, first let me tell the shloka and then we look at the properties of that. Swachcha pragrada snigdho madhuryastirtha bhurnam muni punadi abham mitram isha ubasparsha kirtanaihi. Muni punadi abham mitram. Muni, sage. Let's look at the top level meaning and then go inside. Muni means sage. Punadi means sanctifies, making it holy, making it sacred. Apam, apaha, apam, of water. Mitram is like a friend. What it says, a muni, a sage, will be a friend to the water. Or a sage will act like a friend to the water. So if you want to be a friend to somebody, you will have a lot of common denominators. Properties will be the same. So, yeah, in this case, Muni means a Prabhannan. The person who has done the Prabhati, after the post-Prabhati, he will carry the properties like water. The qualities like water. Characteristics. So, what are the qualities of the water? Now it tells all of them. Swachchaha, swachchaha means pure. Prakritidaha means by nature. Water is pure by nature. We see ice cap water on the mountain tops and everything. Rainwater, which are all pure. Everything is so crystal, clean, nice, you can use them. But when it comes through the mountains, to the rivers, and then once human beings started touching that one, all the pollution comes. Until then, left alone, it will be just like the baby inside the stomach of the mother. It is so clean. As soon as it comes out, this Jada Vayu, it has that kind of a sparism. It starts breathing that one, all the ignorance will come. Your knowledge will be gone. Similarly, water by itself is pure. But when it river comes out, the human beings started doing that one, pollutes that one. So we are applying this water to a Prabhanna. Previously akAsam to the Jivatma and Paramatma. Here water for a Jnanam. Jnanam, who needs Jnanam? Basically all the people. We are concentrating Prabhannan. Okay? So when you are saying Prabhannan, well, Prabhannan by himself is pure. Only the other people are polluting him. So we cannot say like that for water. Water by nature is good, people are polluting. So we cannot apply exactly like that. That's what I want to say. So first, Swachchaha, it's pure. We have to be pure. Be pure in mind, pure in vak, pure in actions. All of them has to be pure. Next one, Snigdha. Snigdha means, Snigdha is a quality to join two things. Adhesive capability, glueness. That is what Snigdha. We call as a yogam. Yogam is joining two things. You see the cement, you see the bricks, you see the sand. You need the water. So when you add the water, it becomes like some kind of a mortar, then it sticks to that one. So water is something like take two things and joins them. Without water, you cannot join anything. You can have like the Acropolis in that one where they just make it one stone on top of the other. But it's not joined, it's independent. So to join them, you need the water. Taste buds. Your tongue has got on top of that saliva. If there is no saliva, you will never have the taste. Without saliva, you don't have the taste. So taste buds are there, saliva is there, and the jalebi is on top. That is how you get the taste of that. Okay, without saliva, where it is joining your taste bud to the material what you are eating, joining them, that is what called Snigdha. Your Prabhannan should be like that. Snigdha actually coming from Sneha, from the root words. Sneha means you will be friend to everybody. So what he does, takes two people and joins them. Makes them as an association, makes them as a group, make them as a group. That is what you will be doing. So this water property is Snigdha. Next one is Madhurya. Madhurya means sweet or gentle. Okay. In this case, water you said that there is no taste. Water is so gentle. When you look at that one, it flows. Whatever the vessel you keep it, it takes that form. It's a square, it takes square. If it is circular, it takes circular. It is so gentle. Unless you go for the white water rafting. Other than that, water is basically very gentle. Madhurya, that's what it says. Tirthabhu Nurnam. is a purifier, Tirthabu, purifier. Nirna means humans. It is a purifier, rivers, ponds. That is the reason why we go to the temple pond and take a dip into that one. Going into the Tirupati, going to any of this Kshetram, we go and take this water, dip there. Rivers in Purana and everything, Ganges, you take that. Ganga. Ganga is coming from Bhagiradan. Ganga Plavida Madham. So in Dayasadagam it says, so Bhagiradan brought that one. So it is from Devalogam. And where is the Ganga coming from? When Trivikraman put his feet up there, Brahma was washing that one. So from his feet, whatever is the Tirumanjana water, that becomes as the Ganga, akAsA Ganga. It's pouring from there. That is why whenever you have all the rivers, anything you take, in our Sampradayam, rivers are called as the female part. And they are all either the daughters or the wife. That is the way to the oceans. That is the way it would be described. So these rivers, Kaveri you take, or Tamarabarani you take, Palari you take, Gomadi you take, any of the rivers, Yamuna, Krishna did so much of playful acts over there. All of them, all the waters, they would be considered. If you watch that one, any person go to the river, it takes that one and did the prokshanam on their head first. Because it's such a noble one to take the water and put it. So, prokshanam, and they did that one. That is Ganga Darsanam. Whenever you say Darsanam, even looking at that one, that would be. So, how this is basically purifying you? If you ask, Swachha Pragrithina, naturally pure, Snigdho, joining, Madhuryaha, sweet or gentle, Tirthabu Nirnam. It is a purifier for human beings. How does it do? If you ask that one, three way. Iksha, Ubhasparisha, Kirtanai. What they say, by looking at the water itself, it purifies you. Well, internally. So otherwise, everybody will put a cup of water and they will never take a shower. By looking at them, I'll be cleaned. No. For cleaning physically you need, but looking at the water itself, that is why whenever you look at the water, there is some happiness comes inside you. Whether it's a falls, river, pond, ocean, anything you look at, water makes you so happy. Because most of your part of the body is water. So water, what it does here, three different ways. One is ikshana. Ikshana means looking. When you look at that water, that itself purifies, cures all your problems, cures your sins and everything. It's physically not, but mentally. Second one is ubhasparishana. Whenever there's a water there, if you watch the kids, they always want to go and touch it. Kids always like to touch that one water. So similarly, we always go and touch that water. Whether you take shower or not, at least you go and touch sparsana. So even if you cannot take, the water is so cold in the pond, you are asking me to take a dip in Tirupati, this Pushkarani. So at least you take a few drops and put it on your head, prokshanam. So that is a sparsam, ubhasparsam. Okay. Kirtanaihi, if you praise the water, so many slokas are there. Ganga Studi, Kaveri Studi. Even when you take the bath in the morning, there's a think about all these rivers and everything. So many studis are there. So if you make prayers, if you do studi for that water, that itself is good. So, Ikshe, Ubhasparisha, Kirtanehi. By seeing, by respectfully touching that, not with your feet or anything, by respectfully touching and being glorified verbally. Okay? All the three ways when you do that one, then the water is basically purifying you. Question is, how the water purifies? Okay. Let's take physical and then spiritual. You take physical, water is one of the best solvent. It dissolves everything. So you take bath, that means all the dirts and everything gets dissolved and it washes off. That is how it does. Spiritually, how it does that one. So it's a beautiful explanation they give. That is the reason why we do Kumbhabhishekam. That is the reason why we do this, all other kinds of things like Samprokshanam, Punyavachanam, Sandhyavandanam, all of them what we do. Okay, let's take. If you have some feeling inside your heart and you want to communicate to me, how can you communicate? The feelings what you have is a sukshma. It does not have any shape or anything. Okay? It has to be passed through a sthulam. And that sthulam has to be received by me. And that has to be converted into sukshma inside me. That is how it has to happen spiritually. So he says, he had a taste of jalebi. He ate that. He felt so happy. So I asked Srikant, why are you so happy? He says, I ate that jalebi. How's that feeling? I asked him. Oh, you don't know, I just put it on my tongue. It's so sweet and it's so juicy. It's orange color. And you have all, he keeps on explaining whatever the feeling you had, converted them into the words. And the words I received, converted them, I think, oh, this is how it might be. Even though it's not, my tongue is like that. I feel like I'm also tasting. Okay? So, feeling to feeling cannot be transferred. The feeling is basically, does not have any form. It's a sukshma. It has to be in the stula form, where we can describe. That is the words or pictures, whatever you do. And then that has to be transferred over here. That is what happening during Punyavachanam. During the Punyavachanam, what you do, you have a spiritual feeling in your heart. I am doing for a good purpose. And when you tell these through mantras, your feelings are taken and go and descend into that kumbha. And the kumbha, whatever it is, you take that one, and then when you sprinkle it over there, all the things over here from that sthulam, it goes into the sukshma of that one, and that gets cleansed. That is the reason for the Punyavachanam. The same thing for when you do this Sandhyavandanam. You say Suryascha Mamanyascha Manipadescha Agnischa Mamanyascha. You take that one and you tell that sloka and drink it. Even the Achamanam, what you do, Achyudaya Namaha, Anantaya Namaha, Govindaya Namaha, you do that one, that feeling is going. That is the reason why they say, when you do this one, don't do it in an angry mood. Now go to the cooking. Same thing. So when you start cooking, the feelings what you are having, that descends inside there, similar to the Punyavachanam. So that is the reason why the inner feelings of one converted to the inner feelings of other, that has to be some sthula form. And we don't realize, I'm just doing all this cooking and everything with all this currandi and all of them, I'm mixing all of them, you are thinking. But without knowing yourself, all your feelings are getting in there. So when somebody eats that one, they basically get that. So that is how water purifies. To understand the sukshmam, converted to sthulam, transferred over here and then over there. This is very similar to digital signal processing. That's what we do. Analog, converted to digital, pass it on, digital, take it, converted to analog. Similarly here. And all these rishis, as I said, these rishis are so smart. Far smarter than any of the science we can think. I call them as aliens. They don't belong to this earth. They come from somewhere. Devalogam or Magat, whatever it is they are coming from. So their knowledge, their technology is so far ahead of us. And that is why they gave the Vedas, that is basically the recipe. Unfortunately, when you look at the Veda, this is the problem, this is the answer. But nobody tells how it is derived. They never took the time to derive that. But if you do that, you get that, definitely. If you do this one, you'll get it. Do this one, you get this one. Okay? So in the factories and everything, when you see, there will be engineer who might have studied all the way up to the PhD. There would be a mechanic there. So the engineer looks at that one. Today the output is not that much coming out. There's some problem. So the mechanic, no sir, move this valve quarter. You move a quarter inch over this side, so it gets the production. How does he know? He does not know anything, but he is done by the practice. So we also do, by doing this one, I get this. By doing this one, I get this. You do that one practice. But how it happens, you don't know. So similarly, when you look at here, when you punyavachanam, when they say the house has to be cleansed. So what does it mean? You take a darba cut and put it over here, and then you chant some mantras and take the water and sprinkle, and you say everything is cleaned. How is it possible? This is how it is possible. The feelings what you have, you want to receive the Perumal at home, the dolai and the Thiruvanjanam, everything you want to do, the house has to be cleaned. Not physically also, spiritually cleaned. Because it's got to so much of bad anger and all other kinds of ill effects. We want to remove them. Cleaning is no problem, with soap you can do. How do we do that? That is why you pray for Bhagavan with all the good feelings. You descend all these feelings inside that pot, into the kalasam. And that water you go and do. And the mantras for each one of them, so beautifully they are done. How do you generate that one? And then how do you prokshanam onto the people? How do you prokshanam into the achetanam and everything? Different things they have, all of them. So these are all based on the belief we do, on the faith and the trust. And when you look at the digital signal processing, I said, it is possible, all of them. So that is what it says, how water basically purifies. Okay, so maybe we'll stop at this point today, and when we continue tomorrow, we'll continue to hit on the water, and how when you see the water, and how when you praise the water, and when you compare to a Prabhannan or a Jnani or a Sadhu or a Rishi, the same effect will happen. So we'll continue tomorrow. Kavidharkika Simmaya Kalyan Gunasalini Srimade Venkadesaya Vedanta Gurave Namaha Srimade Nikamanta Mahadeshigaya Namaha.